Hey y'all, so I'm making another Get Personal video, and this one is actually pretty personal for me, but it's also, I feel like, an opportunity for me to talk to you guys and tell you about my journey and how it's it's like there's a way to overcome it, and I want that to be the main focus of my video. So if the title attracted you to my video and you're either going through it or you know somebody who's going through it, then I really encourage you to stay through the rest of my video and just listen to some of the tips that I've learned, some of the things that I do, and just some of the things that I deal with. And if I could just be someone for you to relate to or for you to go to help somebody else, either way would be really great. So just to start out, there wasn't really like a time where like I discovered that I had social anxiety. I've kind of always had it, but really in particular, I've kind of like figured out or kind of like narrowed it down to the fact that like I can call it social anxiety, because really I didn't think that social anxiety was a thing, like that you could actually be affected by it. I thought, I was just the person who didn't want to really interact with people or was scared to do things. But, um, sorry, my neighbors are like kind of loud. But, it is a thing. It is, and it's not a bad thing either. It's not something that you have to feel like you're, never gonna overcome, or it's never gonna go away. Um, so basically, if you don't really understand, or if you're just trying to figure out if you do have social anxiety, it's basically really hard for you to do things such as going out with friends, or even just, going to school, for example. Like for me, in my situation right now, it's like going to school and having to go somewhere outside of my normal realm of where I usually go. So I have a set, area that I'm in, or a set of classes that I go to, and that's my comfort zone. So going outside of that is kind of, like it's scary for me. So basically, that's basically what it is. And my more point of this video is not really to tell you about what it is, but how you can overcome that and how you can do it slowly. Um, so that's point number one that I'm going to make, that it's not going to happen overnight. And if you're the person watching this video because you're helping somebody else, don't rush them and don't think that they're bad people because they can't overcome it in 2 days or 3 days. It's just something that they have to make a habit of doing. Kind of like you make it a habit to, brush your teeth in the morning, or you make it a habit to, brush your hair a certain way in the morning. It's just something that they have to continue to do. So for me, I'm still not over it. I still have moments where I get nervous because I have to do something, or, are people going to see that I'm doing this? Or are people going to see that I, am wearing eyeshadow today? Or if I have to go to another like center in the university to go do something, like, for tutoring or things like that, it makes me nervous. Like, what if I mess up? Or what if, I can't get help? Or what if I look lost? It's silly at times, yes, but it's just something that happens, and you can't really explain why, or you can't just be like, no, don't be nervous, So just think ahead. You kind of have to. I know it's kind of weird to, you don't want to over plan things or anything like that, but just kind of tell yourself in advance, like, okay, if you're nervous because you have to wait for the bus and you don't want to, look weird or whatever, just tell yourself ahead, okay, just sit on the bench and just be there. Just stare at people, or, find something that makes you entertained or helps you focus on something. Like if you just like looking at like the way the birds are, or if you like watching cars, or if you like picking out license plates, so your mind is not thinking, what are they thinking of me? It's more of, I'm occupied and my mind's not on that. Another thing that you can do, and I like to do, is just listen to music. Um, this obviously doesn't work in, places where you can't do that, but majority of the time you can, because majority of the time when social anxiety rises, it's walking to places, or, going out, or just being, um, afraid of what people are thinking because of the action that you're doing, such as like, going and having to find a room, or going somewhere else, or um, talking to people. It The best way for you to do that is, like, if you're nervous going to another room or to walking to your car because you're afraid of what people are going to think of you when you're walking or when you're doing stuff, listen to music, because listening to music kind of drowns out that outside thought of what are they thinking of me, and it makes it a lot better. And as for getting nervous, like when you go into a place, the only thing that you can do is just try and tell yourself not to be. And eventually you'll get to the point where you don't even have to tell yourself to do it. It just kind of happens. So, like, at first you're going to have to keep telling yourself, it's okay. If you're lost, just ask for help. Just ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. Or, whatever chant that you have to kind of make up in your head to help you, it all works the same. So, you just have to kind of tell yourself ahead of time. And it doesn't necessarily mean planning every moment out, because the more planning that you do, the worse that you're going to make it. So don't sit there and plan that you're going to go and find this room and then you're going to look like a dork because you're the only person there or whatever. Don't tell yourself that. Just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to go there and I'm going to look for the help desk and I'm going to ask them, can you help me with this? Or I'm going to tell them this is why I'm here. And so that's the only planning when I say that I mean. Just tell yourself, I'm going to go get in the car and I'm going to drive here. Or I'm going to do this while I'm walking. And you're not going to think about anything else. And eventually, like, certain things will start to just fade away and you won't think about it. Such as, like, just, walking down the street or whatever, things like that. You won't think about it as much. But as for, like, bigger events, it's just going to take you time to get used to doing that. And also, if you are the person watching this for somebody else, help them by not leaving them alone. Because sometimes people with social anxiety, and I'm talking about myself in this aspect, get really nervous being by themselves and going and doing things by themselves. So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to treat them like a baby and go with them everywhere. But if you are with them, just kind of comfort them, because it makes them nervous. Like, ordering food for me is a big deal because I just don't like, the way my voice sounds, or if they don't hear me, or, things like that. And it's silly to some people, yes, but it's really, nerve wracking for me. So if you're with that person, or you are that person that's watching this because you have it, just, ask for someone to go with you, or don't be ashamed to tell them. I mean, if you haven't talked to anybody about social anxiety or having it, it's a really good idea to talk to them about it. And if they don't believe you or say that's not a disease, don't harp on it, or think that you're a bad person for thinking you have social anxiety. I'm here to tell you that it's not bad to have it, and it's not bad to admit that you have it. And for those people that don't believe you, that's a sign, like, that is your huge sign saying they're not your real friends and you just need to leave. So that's kind of like the end point of that. And it may suck because it may be someone that you were really close to, or that you thought was going to be the person that would understand that you have this, but that's not always the case. So if you are this person that has social anxiety, just try to find, someone who comforts you, or when you're in a relationship, make sure that that person knows and that that person is there for you, because that's really important. That's somebody that you do have to talk to about it, because that way they can be there for you, because it's not only um not fair to them if you don't tell them, but it's also not fair to yourself. So if you do tell them and they're mean about it or they don't believe you, that's your sign to leave. But if they are there for you, that's gonna be your comfort, and that's the person that you're gonna go to, and that's the person that may go with you to order food when you don't want to, or may just be your best friend or sister or mother, whatever. So my point being, just plan, but don't plan to the point where you make yourself crazy. Just plan enough to tell yourself, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to worry about what people are thinking of me while I'm doing it, not anything like that. Just plan your route and tell yourself. Find your buddy and find your person that's going to be there to help you order food and to help you get through the day. and to just be that little, support that helps you kind of amp yourself up a little bit. And third, just do it. Don't be nervous, don't be freak out, just do it. And once you do it and you do it again and again and again, you'll realize that it's okay, and you'll find new places. Like, say you're going, somewhere that you're not comfortable with, and then you end up finding, another center or another place that you could actually benefit from, and now you know where it is, and it's not so nerve-wracking to try and find it. So that's my advice, and that's a little bit of my social anxiety. This really wasn't about my social anxiety and, like, my symptoms. It was more, I wanted to give you guys advice on what worked for me and what'll help you overcome it and deal with it and talk to people about it. So if you want me to do more videos on social anxiety by itself, you can, let me know in the comments and just tell me that, you want to see more of me talking about my social anxiety or answering questions about social anxiety. Either one, I'll do any of them, because it's something that's really close to me and something, I feel like I can talk to you guys about. So yeah, all my social media is down below like always, and if I can find any more information for you guys, or there is some like links and stuff that you can go to and kind of like explore a little more if you want a little more that's not in my video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.